From NADA Used Car Guide headquarters, this is Guidelines Report with Executive Automotive Analyst Jonathan Banks.
The extreme winter weather that ravaged large parts of the U.S. east of the Mississippi in February also dampened used vehicle price growth during the month. Wholesale prices of vehicles up to 8 years in age increased just slightly over January levels last month. From a historical standpoint, February's performance was nearly a full percentage point lower than the average recorded for the month from 1996 to 2014. Mainstream segment price growth was fairly consistent in February, with prices growing between 0.5% to 1.4%. However, as they're historically prone to do, prices for luxury segments moved in the opposite direction, falling by 1%. Luxury compact car prices gave up the most ground last month, while prices for remaining luxury segments fell by a lesser average. February's comparatively tepid result led to a 1.8 percentage point drop in NADA's seasonally adjusted used vehicle price index, which fell from 125.3 in January to 123.5 last month. For our monthly forecast, March's better weather, along with pent-up demand, should help create more favorable market conditions. Prices are now expected to rise by 1 to 2% in March, basically shifting the expected seasonal increases for February into March. New automobile sales were up over 5% in February year over year, despite many markets around the country having faced extreme weather conditions throughout the month. The seasonally adjusted annual rate was at just under 16.2 million units, which represents a decline from January, but is 830,000 units higher than a year ago. The U.S. Big Three saw its deliveries increase by only 2.6%, as the only automaker even to crack 5% growth was Fiat Chrysler. With sales up 5.6% versus last February, Fiat Chrysler led its domestic peers in growth rate after falling to the end of the pack in January. Just behind FCA was General Motors, who posted a 4% gain in spite of declining sales from its premium brands Cadillac and Buick. Ford Motor Company brought up the rear with its 2% decrease in deliveries. Imports leapfrogged domestics with deliveries up almost 8%, particularly due to the success of Asian brands, which saw sales climb by over 8%. Japanese brands performed particularly well, with sales increasing by nearly 9%, while Korean makes improved by 7%. Meanwhile, Subaru and Mitsubishi continue to outperform rivals, with sales gains of 19% and 26% respectively. European sales were up over 5% as sales of German makes increased by almost 5%. But that result is not what it seems, as Volkswagen realized over 5% fewer deliveries compared to last February, when it saw sales fell by 14%. Excluding the VW brand, German sales actually climbed a relatively high 9%. BMW's 15% sales leap led all Europeans, as its 4 Series and X5 models were popular. The company's Mini brand saw a 51% sales improvement, which was secured by the Mini Cooper model. Ending a 2-year rising streak, average incentive spending for the industry finally dipped year over year, with average spending per unit just below $2,700 in February. The month saw a 0.7% decrease compared to last month. That's this month's market update. To download the full report, visit nada.com/B2B. We'll see you next time.